Okay. So, where do people usually go wrong when they're talking about product sales or they're trying to introduce a new product or affiliate link to a whole new audience? A big thing is that there's a strong disconnect between the creator, the producer, and the marketer. So, there's some awesome engineer who came up with a great idea, and they don't really know how to market it. Well, they get a marketer. They don't know how to, they can't just produce it in a massive amount on their own, so they get producers, and they get factory workers. But in the end, that engineer is probably not the best for marketing their item. They have a great item, they just don't know how to market it. So storytelling is where all that comes into play. So say if we have a product, we'll use a neti pot or a nasal irrigation pot. And the engineer would know to tell you that by, not just to put the engineer on the spot here, let's just say the creator of it, knows that it contains this many ounces, it can contain this many ounces of water, and you put a saline mix into it, you place it up to your nose, you tilt, and it should be able to go up into your sinuses and all that fun stuff up there and just make you pour that out of your nose, and it's going to look beautiful. And they don't really think about that. They think about the effectiveness of it and the importance of clearing out your nasal passages and all your sinuses there. How effective it is, you can give them studies, you can show them all the real facts, but is that going to really sell? And it's kind of hard to actually make a commercial that makes this product look cool. If you go on Google right now or you go on YouTube and you search for this product, like the neti pot, the traditional neti pot, you're going to find some people who look very not real about what they're doing, and they're just going to be smiling, and they're going to put that thing up their nose and like that, and they're going to go turn to their head and all that. And in real life, when you put one of those up to your nose, you get it flowing up there, and you start gagging a little bit until you learn how to keep on breathing and don't try to hold your breath, or you're going to die in a pool of your own snot. That's great. But you've come out with a product that's better than that, that will fix the problems that people run into. You've come out with the automated nasal irrigation pot. Okay? This thing's great, and you can just stick it around that thing up into your nose, and it will rush water up one way and then suck it out another way, deposit it. You can actually even see what it produced, what came out of your body. Because that's interesting, right? People want to do that. Yeah. And if you have a sinus infection, you really want to see, well, what is that? But this product is a lot more simple to use. There's less irritation, less pain, and less stuff for you to have to do. All you need is just a little bit of distilled water, one of our saline packs. You pour it in there, and you go. You do that. Well, that's interesting in a way, but you need to have a sell point. Why is this worth? Because this little piece of plastic that is a neti pot, it's only like $10 with a bunch of saline packets. You're wanting to sell them something that's $80 and needs a guarantee and all this and all that, and you got to be able to pay for all these workers. Well, you need to justify it with a really good story, so let's cook you up a story. Alright, so we've got traditional little neti pot thing here. It's not Neti brand, actually. It's some other one. We don't want to talk about brands anyways. This is it. It looks cute, right? It looks like something that's not very associated with young people. This looks like a cute little pot from a story that your grandma told you, and as an older adult you might use one. And it looks like a little pot, okay? But younger people probably aren't going to be as appealed to it. It's more work. It's something that you have to screw on here. Nothing really clicks. There's nothing automated about it. It is all extremely manual. Okay, so that is what it is. However, you've come up with this machine right here. This automated sucking, wearing gyro nasal irrigation machine. And you just ram it up your nose, and you'll feel like a millionaire after you suck out your nasal deposits. So in traditional media, you'll see these things that we hope to run away from, and that we're trying to escape every day, which are commercials. Commercials are boring. Nobody likes to have to sit through them, and usually, whenever you see a commercial that's kind of gaudy, and depending on your age, you really don't like that commercial. I mean, it's almost embarrassing for you to watch. However, you do remember it, and you don't have to make a commercial like that. The traditional commercial form would be like, let's say, and you'll want to make this a much more elaborate version. You want to make this a more relatable version. But you've got Cody, me. Welcome to my channel. Cody Coffee. Alright, that's me. I've introduced myself. Hello, so we're going to get to the point. In the commercial, or in the ad that you're going to make, you're going to have a person using your product. Let's keep on using this as an example. So, Cody has a hard time remembering using his nasal irrigation pot. He doesn't use it often enough because it's more work, it's quickly forgettable, it's cheap and plastic, and we lose the packets. And, I take it to parties and school and use it, and people would make fun of me, and I'm over here, hold on guys, I gotta use my nasal irrigation pot. Give me 5 minutes. I need to get the water up to a certain temperature, I need to mix in this packet, and I need to send it through my nose, and it's gonna look ugly. And then everybody's pointing at poor Cody, and he doesn't know what to do, and he stops using this, and he keeps on getting sinus infections because he's just so embarrassed by his stupid traditional nasal irrigation pot. However, that was before Cody was introduced to the new leading brand of, we're going to cover up the name here, of automated nasal irrigation pot sucker machine that just jams up your nose. But it sucks it right out, and if you pay $10 more, you can get a darker container for the bottom for the depository right here, which will cover up, so that way if you're at a party and you don't want people to see your unsightly boogers that you just sucked out because you totally be using this thing at a party, well, you can pay for that. It's an add-on. Yeah, and you can get our monthly service of packets that we send to you, so that way you can have scented packets. That way your nose smells like passion fruit. I'm sorry, I couldn't think of anything that to smell like lemons. I don't know. But anyways, these special packets. So now you've signed somebody up for a reoccurring payment. You get them into this whole lifestyle because it's much less embarrassing than just pouring water, water falling right out of your nose. Now you have a machine that just sucks it right out of your nose. Much less cleanup, much less worry. Or you could tell them the straight facts. Traditional ones take a longer time. They don't get the job done as well as these. This new piece right here, the automated pot takes 4.5 ounces of water and jettisons it through your nose into the depository down here. And that's where you will collect your nasal deposits. Okay, well that's much less interesting because you didn't tell a story. You didn't give any benefit. You didn't tell anybody exactly how this is going to save your life. A lot of these commercials that are out there, it's like before the men's hair loss product that I wasn't using, I was just, sad, and my wife wouldn't look at me, and life sucked. But then when I did start, getting my hair professional looking and reinstalled, taken from my butt and put back on my head, you know what? Now I dropped my wife. Now I have multiple wives, and I'm illegal in so many states right now. But that's fine because I have hair. Storytelling is essential for the biggest and best companies. Back in the day, even for companies that nowadays, like let's say whenever we buy a Tylenol, at one time there was an ad for it that kept on going that let you know that this handled your headaches. Advil, all these big companies that you pretty much are the go-to thing. You know that it's a good thing because you've seen the commercial that lets you know it's a good thing. And when you go from age 20 to 30 something like myself, you realize one day, my shoulders really hurt from all the manual labor I've done in life and up until this point. And you know what? I think I actually need to take an Advil because, I mean, you don't know exactly. You've never taken a course and studied exactly what the medicine does and how it helps, but you know that it helps. That's all that matters. And they are going to sell for you for the rest of your life because you know it works, because you were told a story. You saw a story. You saw a guy who was working and he got off of a truck and he's, oh man, got a crick in my neck. Better take some pills. Better call Advil, I better, use whatever product. If your house burns down and you can relate it to somebody, let's say like their she shed. Everybody's heard about the she shed at this point. Well, when we're talking insurance and business insurance or home insurance or health insurance, you can relate it to these different companies who have the right kinds of ads, who can show people who are winning at life that at one time were failing. Or, here's a person, they have a problem. Here's something that's a problem solver. They use the problem solver, and now their life is like so much better. It's not just, it's not just better because of that one thing. Like, now I have fire insurance. Dun-dun-dun. No, now you have something that has made your life actually improve somehow. It has nothing to do with, that. It's like, I feel so much at ease now that I have home insurance and that specific type of fire insurance. You know why? Well, don't worry about that first. I'm just happy with my family and my kids. We're getting along better now. We're cooking at home. We're eating organic. Oh, yeah, because I got insurance and I have less worry. That's why. Buy the insurance. Buy it. The hard part of that is incorporating it. Now, if you only have to write a copy or some type of marketing ad, well, don't worry, that's not too hard, and you can outsource that pretty easy. But if you have to hire actors and get a camera crew to record these actors and come up with a script, it can take about $700, $1,500 if you do it on the cheap and you kind of manage it right. But if your product's worth it, it's definitely worth it. Companies spend millions of dollars for the right kind of ad. You can spend a couple hundred, you can spend a couple thousand. If you think that your product is really worth it, if you think it's going to solve problems, and obviously people have bought thousands and thousands of those automated nasal suckers, so it's worth the marketing campaign. It's worth making up a quick little story about how Cody's life is so much more improved. You ought to do it. You ought to think about it. So as you'll see in the next video, you'll get to take a look at how storytelling has sold many different products, sold many different online products, and something that's more applicable to us now, say like us, like millennial marketers. Storytelling determines thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of sales every single day. Sometimes good, sometimes bad, because sometimes people use storytelling so effectively that they use it to lie constantly. And that's not really what I'm trying to tell you here to do. I'm just saying storytelling is one of the most effective ways to sell a product. Hopefully you have a good product behind your story, but you need to have some type of story. You need to have a winner and a loser, and show that by buying your product, the person will not be a loser. They're gonna be a winner. So for better or worse, people are gonna remember a good story or a really bad one. Okay, bye.